Alright, so this week we're going to talk about shape in art, and there are two different kinds of shapes that we talk about. First is geometric shapes. So these are kind of the easy ones. So squares, and then triangles, and circles, and diamonds would fall into this category as well. Rectangles, and like a half circle. All right, so anything that would be considered what you would use in math, these would all be considered geometric shapes, even if the shapes aren't perfectly even on all sides. That's kind of the idea. In art, we're just really concerned with the kind of the categorization of the shapes, not necessarily that they're all perfectly drawn. The next kind of shape type that we talk about is organic shapes. So organic shapes are shapes that you're going to find in nature. So things like a raindrop shape, or something that resembles a flower, or something that looks like a leaf. All right, these would all be considered organic shapes. Anything that's irregular, so something that's like a wavy shape, or anything that looks like maybe like an amoeba, so it has kind of this like blob quality to it. All right, so all of these would be considered organic shapes because they're not regular and measured like you would use a shape in math. So what you're going to do this week is you're going to make a collage of different kinds of shapes, and you can use any kind of background paper that you'd like. You don't even have to glue this down. You can just lay it down and take a picture of your work when you're done. I'm going to use a box, a Nutrigrain box, and I'm just going to use the brown side. If you want to use the colored side, that's fine. But you're going to make a collage from 5 different organic shapes and 5 different geometric shapes. So I'm cutting my first geometric shape, and I'm just going to lay it on my paper. And then cut like a diamond shape. And I'll do my best to cut a decent looking circle. This is not going to be perfect because I'm not using a compass or anything. I'm just doing it freehand, so that's totally fine. It's close to a circle as you can get. And then, let's see, I need 2 more. I'm going to cut a rectangle. And then maybe like a diagonal rectangle. So this would be a parallelogram, I think, but you can just make it a rectangle if you want. So this is, make sure this is all in my view. There we go. All right, so my 5 shapes are on the paper. And you could glue these down if you want to keep it permanent, but you can just place them down as well and do your arrangement that way, and then you can just throw away your scraps when you're done. And then you're going to do your organic shapes. Now you can do a box as well, cut up. You just want the color to be different. So if you're using light brown for from a box for your geometric shapes, just use like the colored part of the box, or you know, like a different shade of, like maybe a gray box instead, just so that the shapes turn out. I'm going to use this page from a magazine, for my organic shapes. And it actually has this like feather design on it, so that's going to look cool. And you can just start to cut away. And these, remember, you don't want them, they don't have to be any kind of regular shape. They can just be kind of like blobs, or they can kind of look like a flower. I'm going to lay them into my collage. So you want 5 organic shapes. I'm going to do one that's kind of like a flower. I have a wavy piece that's like already started. So I have 3, so I need 2 more. So I'm going to do a little flower. And once again, I'm not drawing these first. If you want to draw them on your paper or draw them on your board and then cut it out, that's totally fine. I'm just doing this free-handed. And I'll do one more. I'll do a raindrop shape. So round at the bottom and kind of pointier at the top. All right, so those are my 10 shapes. I have 10 geometric shapes and 10 organic shapes, and you can see that they're done in different types of papers, so that this way you can tell the difference between each kinds of shapes. I will post the my finished shape collage on the lesson as well, along with this video, so you can see my final result. And have a great time making your shape collage. Okay, have a good night.